In 2026, walking into an electronics store is like entering a bright jungle designed to assault your senses. A wall of blazing screens emits colors so intense and strange that they almost burn your retinas. Salespeople approach you like casino dealers, offering hyper-realistic contrast, AI-powered upscaling, quantum processing, and any flashy jargon the marketing department could fit on a package. Every screen is set to be the brightest in the room. Every spec sheet shouts 4K, 8K, HDR, Ultimate QLED, OLED, QNED, and next-gen picture intelligence, like it came straight from a Marvel script. Every shopper leaves convinced they have unlocked the future of home entertainment. But here's a secret that no one at Walmart, Costco, or Best Buy will ever tell you. Half of the TVs on those shelves are ticking time bombs, engineered to look good in the store, but come apart in your home. Some will not last 2 years. Some employ such inexpensive panels that the warranty is more reliable than the television itself. And in 2026, the gap between a brilliant TV and a complete disaster has never been greater. That's why, today, we're removing the mask. No sponsorships, no sugarcoating, and no manufacturer-friendly review talk. Only purchase reputable products and avoid those that should not be in your home. The average shopper believes that TVs improve with each passing year. More features, intelligence, and innovation, correct? Not precisely. What actually occurs is significantly less glamorous. Behind the glitzy marketing, many TV businesses are secretly cutting corners at all levels. Cheap LED backlights that die within months. Ultra-thin panels that flex, warp, or exhibit consistency problems. Processors that are too slow to handle modern applications. Operating systems that are so slow that you feel like you're operating a machine from 2005. Worst of all, many brands no longer qualify as actual manufacturers. They're basically licensed brands placed onto low-cost hardware manufactured in rotating offshore factories. For example, consider Philips. Philips TVs are considered premium in Europe, with stunning OLED displays, Ambilight technology, and superb build quality. But in the United States, that similar logo is licensed to Funai, a low-cost manufacturer. The end result is a product that is absolutely unrelated to the European original, but is offered to unwary American customers who believe they are purchasing the real thing. And that's only one example. The industry is replete of bait-and-switch methods. What you see on the box rarely matches what is within the panel. And certainly, makers fully expect many of these TVs to fail quickly. Why? Because a 3-year-old TV sells more replacements than a 10-year-old TV. It is that simple. Now let's talk about the worst offenders. The TVs you should avoid at all costs. These aren't simply not great. These are money-burning, Saturday night ruining, warranty-testing disasters disguised as bargain prices. Number 12. On Walmart is the definitive heartbreaker in the electronics department. You notice the $178 price tag on a 55-inch screen and think, this is too good to pass up. And it is. Too good to be true. 2 months later, the screen flickers, the backlight fails, Wi-Fi drops every 10 minutes, and it eventually stops working altogether. On uses some of the industry's cheapest LED backlights, and when they fail, the TV turns into a massive plastic paperweight. Repairs cost more than the television itself. No one wins, except Walmart. Number 11, Element, is another brand that claims to be a deal. On the shelf, it appears fine. But when you get home, you find it's the TV version of sugar cereal. Bright package, empty inside. The panels are extremely inconsistent. Dark scenes appear smudged. Motion is hazy. HDR is a joke. Furthermore, because the brand continuously changes plants, finding replacement parts is impossible. Purchasing an Element is similar to purchasing a scratch-off ticket. The odds indicate that you will lose. Number 10. Westinghouse is a zombie brand disguised as a once great name. Nothing about these televisions matches the original manufacturer. Panel homogeneity is among the worst in the market. Whites look dirty, blacks look blue, and grays appear blotchy. The built-in speakers produce a sound similar to a petrol station radio playing inside a tin can. And the operating system? Slow, buggy, and embarrassing in 2026. Opening Netflix is similar to booting a Windows XP laptop. Hard pass. Number 9, Philips, US models, are among the most deceptive products in America. Customers believe they are purchasing sophisticated, European-designed Philips televisions known for their stunning OLEDs and Ambilight. Instead, customers receive low-cost Funai hardware that barely competes with cheaper brands. Weak brightness, lousy HDR, and uncertain quality control make these a must-avoid. One buyer perfectly stated it: "I bought a BMW and got the engine of a lawnmower." Now we approach the perilous middle ground: TVs that appear fantastic in shop, but quietly fail at home. These are the heartbreakers of the television industry. They entice you with appealing demo loops, reasonable specs, and affordable prices, then die as soon as the warranty expires. Number 8. Insignia is a typical Best Buy scam. It appears to be a smart price pick, and the box consistently boasts incredible value. However, Insignia is not a legitimate television brand. It's a business strategy, a label put on inexpensive bulk panels purchased from wherever Best Buy gets the best deal that month. They age similarly to dairy. Brightness fades, colors fade, apps freeze, and by year 2, many units have vertical lines, the TV's equivalent of a death certificate. According to one technician, people buy Insignia twice, once to learn the lesson and once to fix it. Number 7. RCA was a legend decades ago. However, today it is merely a hollowed-out brand used on low-end sets with poor motion handling and absolutely no quality control. The operating system is terribly slow. Colors wash out as you move a few degrees off-center, and HDR appears to have dimmed rather than enhanced the image. What if something breaks? Too awful. RCA provides very no replacement parts. It's the television equivalent of ranting into a voicemail box in 2012. Number 6. Toshiba is a heartbreaking story. Once a trusted brand, now a gamble. Two people can purchase the same Toshiba model and have very different experiences. One gets a fine panel, while the other gets a clunker that burns out in 2 years. Backlights fail, frames feel thin, CPUs lag, and the operating system frequently freezes, making you wonder your sanity. Purchasing Toshiba nowadays is like dating someone with potential, but potential does not cover the repair costs. Number 5. Vizio is possibly the most tragic fall from grace. Vizio was once the underdog king of value, but supply chain concerns, unstable updates, and tough competition have decimated the company. SmartCast has evolved into a glitch festival. The dimming zones flicker. HDR brightness collapses. Firmware updates frequently make matters worse. TCL and Hisense have absolutely outperformed Vizio in terms of visual quality. You can still get a great model here and there, but the gamble is no longer worthwhile. Number 4. Samsung will surprise a lot of people. The brand isn't bad, but by 2026, it's wildly unreliable. Their flagship QD Mini LED models look fantastic, but most customers don't buy them. They buy the mid-range models, in which Samsung quietly cuts corners. Edge-lit TVs with average brightness, oversaturated colors designed for store shelves, motion smoothing that won't switch off completely, and a continuing unwillingness to support Dolby Vision, a significant disadvantage for HDR movies. Repairs are expensive, and panel replacements are brutal. Samsung is good, but not at the price most people pay. Finally, we reach the brands that have earned their reputation. These companies aren't flawless, but they provide actual value, real engineering, and picture quality that lower levels can't match. Number 3. LG is the OLED champion. LG revolutionized television when they introduced OLED to the mass market. Nothing looks like an LG OLED in a dark room with its perfect blacks, limitless contrast, and pixel-level lighting control. Their C-Series and G-Series remain among the greatest home theater displays money can buy. WebOS is clean and straightforward, and the new panel technology improves heat management and burn-in protection. What are the disadvantages? Their lower-cost LED models are forgettable, and OLED is still not the brightest option for a sunny living room. However, there is a reason why LG is the industry leader in cinematic quality. Number 2. TCL, the value monster. A decade ago, TCL was a punchline. Now, they are the fastest growing television brand in the country. They won based on pure performance per dollar rather than elaborate marketing. Mini LED brightness, high contrast, large screen sizes at a low price, superb gaming support, and competitive pricing that undercuts Samsung's mid-range models. Yes, quality control might vary, and motion processing is not perfect. However, when it comes to price against image quality, TCL takes the lead. In 2026, they will be the unchallenged value king. Number 1. Sony, the king of picture quality. Sony does not rely on gimmicks. They rely on superior processing power. Their XR cognitive processor provides the most genuine, lifelike motion and color accuracy in the world. They improve the appearance of the identical OLED panels used by others. HDR tone mapping is excellent, motion handling is unparalleled, and upscaling is so precise that low-resolution content appears brand new again. A Sony Bravia is not inexpensive, but as you switch it on, you will know where your money went. It's almost like looking through a window into another universe, and that is why Sony will remain the top brand in 2026. Let's be clear, if you want a TV that lasts, performs well, and doesn't turn into a $400 regret 6 months later, there are some brands you should avoid at all costs. No exceptions. No, maybe it'll be fine. No, but it was on sale. These are the TVs designed to be affordable rather than long-lasting. The worst offenders include ON, Element, Westinghouse, and US Philips models. These brands take costs at every turn. Poor backlights that break in a year, low-cost processors that choke on apps, variable screen quality, cheap plastic frames, and software that is so slow it seems like punishment. They look appealing on a Walmart or Costco shelf because they are inexpensive. Yet cheap is the most expensive lesson a customer learns. You don't save money with these televisions. You lose it twice. Once when you buy the TV, and again when you replace it earlier than intended. These models are meant to fail quickly, and they do an excellent job of it. Then there's the danger zone, brands that aren't outright disasters, but are far from reliable. Insignia, RCA, and Toshiba fall squarely within this category. These televisions will not explode, but they will gradually, silently, and inevitably frustrate you. Insignia, Best Buy's in-house brand, is created solely from the cheapest available panels, and it shows. They operate well for a while until vertical lines appear, brightness fades, or apps slow down. Even more problematic is RCA, which is a false brand name put on ultra-low-cost gear with no significant customer service. If something goes wrong, the game is finished. Toshiba is the heartbreaker because it is nearly good. Some machines appear unexpectedly good, but quality control varies so widely that purchasing one feels like pulling a slot machine lever. These TVs are suitable for short-term setups, guest rooms, dorms, or temporary rentals, but not for those who require dependability, longevity, or consistent panel performance. Proceed with caution. Now, let's talk about brands that can provide value if you know what you're doing. Vizio and Samsung are typical examples of firms that make both fantastic and annoying televisions, depending on the model. Vizio used to be the king of value, offering shockingly high performance at low rates. However, in recent years, software instability, dimming zone concerns, and unstable updates have pushed the brand into unsafe terrain. There are still a few exceptional models, but you must know which ones to search for. Meanwhile, Samsung dominates the store floor. Their flagship sets are magnificent, with outstanding brightness, vibrant colors, and impressive gaming capabilities. However, most customers do not purchase the flagship. They purchase mid-range QLed DS and Crystal U HDS, where Samsung discreetly takes corners. Edge-lit screens rather than full-array displays, no Dolby Vision support, and overly harsh motion smoothing. If you purchase Samsung, stock up. Their higher-end versions are worth the price. Their affordable and mid-tier models typically do not. In conclusion, Vizio and Samsung can be wonderful, but only if you choose wisely and understand what you're giving up. Where you buy a TV is almost as important as what TV you buy, and stores will never admit that certain retailers provide stronger protection than others. Costco is unquestionably the safest location to buy a television in 2026. Their extended 2-year guarantee, 90-day return period, and hassle-free replacement policy make them the gold standard for electronics purchases. If a TV fails early, which many do, Costco takes care of the problem so you don't have to. Best Buy is a mixed bag. It's ideal for premium Sony and LG devices, and Geek Squad protection can be worthwhile for high-end sets. But Best Buy's house brands, such as Insignia and select Toshibas, are intentionally arranged to appear more appealing than they are. Do not fall for it. Walmart should be approached cautiously. It's On's home, and that's enough. If you must buy a television from Walmart, stick with reputable brands such as TCL, LG, or Sony. Never touch the house brands. Amazon is wonderful for price drops, lightning offers, and a large selection, but be cautious about returns. If your panel arrives damaged or develops problems after the initial window, obtaining assistance might be a nightmare. Buy from Amazon only when the price is too excellent to pass up, and always verify the return policy. The rule is straightforward. When you're spending hundreds or thousands of dollars, the store's protection is critical. Buy wisely, not quickly. Most consumers unwittingly shorten the lifespan of their televisions by years. Modern televisions are thin, bright, and delicate displays, as opposed to the tank-like plasmas and tube televisions of the past. However, with a few simple habits, you can quadruple your TV's life. To begin, reduce the brightness to its default setting. Store TVs are set to torch mode to compete with lights. At home, it burns the panel. Reduce the brightness to 50 to 60% for LED TVs and 35 to 45% for OLEDs. Second, avoid static content. News stations with persistent tickers, sports scoreboards, and video game HUDs can all cause picture retention over time, particularly on OLED displays. Mix your material. Take breaks. Enable screensavers. Third, keep your television ventilated. Heat is a silent killer. Don't cram your TV into a small cupboard or position it inches from the wall with no airflow. Fourth, update your program intentionally, rather than automatically. Sometimes upgrades solve problems, and sometimes they exacerbate them. If your TV is stable, don't rush through installing every patch. Fifth, OLED owners should run Pixel Refresher as prompted. It balances pixels and reduces burn-in. A well-maintained television can last 8 to 12 years. A neglected one dies 3 times. Treat it correctly, and it will repay you with years of flawless performance. The TV industry in 2026 is a complex of marketing gimmicks, cost-cutting methods, and perplexing spec sheets designed to overwhelm consumers into making rash, uneducated purchases. Brands do not want you to know which models fail prematurely. They do not want you to know when they quietly decrease expenses or license their brand to third-party manufacturers. They don't want you to understand that half of the smart features exist solely to justify increased charges, not to improve your viewing experience. But now you know, because once you've seen through the glossy marketing veil, everything becomes clear. Avoid lower-tier brands that are meant to fail. Be wary of mid-tier traps that seem excellent on shelves but fail to perform in the actual world. Choose top-tier brands that will earn you money. Always buy from retailers who safeguard you, not themselves. If this breakdown saved you hundreds of dollars, helped you avoid the wrong brand, or gave you the confidence to buy the appropriate TV for the next decade, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Because at Frugal Choice, we don't follow trends, we expose them. Let us know what you think down below in the comments.